last week of first grade. Let's go ahead and get started with the first shared reading of the week. So we have 4 vocabulary words here. That means you need your vocabulary book, your shared reading journal, 910, crayons, highlighter, and a pencil. Let's get started. So the 4 vocabulary words that we have are fall, spring, opposite, and rise. Let's read their definitions. Fall is the season of year when the weather cools down. This is the season after summer and the season right before winter. It is also known as autumn. Then we have the word spring. Spring is the time of year or a season of the year where after winter when the weather is warmer and plants begin to bloom. This is followed by summer. Opposite. So opposite are pairs of words that have different meanings, completely different than the first word. So for example, if the first pair of the word I am stuttering a lot. So if one of the words in the pair is day, then the opposite would be night. So if the first word in the pair is cool, then the opposite is warm. If the first word in the pair is fun, then the opposite is boring. And if the first word in the pair is big, the opposite is small. And lastly, the word rise is to go up. The example I have here is the sun will rise at 6 o'clock. So what we're going to do is, since you guys have 1 week of first grade, you know what to do. You're going to write the word, make a sentence using each of these words, and then you are going to make a sentence using the words that you show me. You know how to use it in a complete sentence. Highlight the word in the sentence so that you show me that you used it and you did it correctly. And then you draw a picture. So when you're done with this, go ahead and push play. But for now, pause it so you guys can do your vocabulary. Alright, boys and girls, now that you're done with your shared reading, let's go ahead and see what text has the word fall, spring, opposite, and rise. So in your shared reading journal, you should find this here. It is called Day or Night. Remember, we are exploring sound and light. This is a science text, which tells me it's probably nonfiction, which is not fake, which is facts, which is real. Let's go ahead and read. The first time I will read to you, and then the second read you will read with me. Day or night? What is the difference between day and night? In many places, the answer is simple. Day is light, night is dark. However, in some places near the North Pole, the answer is not so clear. One day each fall, the sun sets. Then it doesn't rise again for about 8 weeks. It stays dark all day and all night. The opposite happens each spring. One day the sun rises. It doesn't set for 11 weeks. Oh my gosh, that's so crazy, friends. All right, read it with me. Day or night? What is the difference between day and night? In many places, the answer is simple. Day is light, night is dark. However, in some places near the North Pole, the answer is not so clear. One day each fall, the sun sets. Then it doesn't rise again for about 8 weeks. It stays dark all day and all night. The opposite happens each spring. One day the sun rises. It doesn't set for 11 weeks. All right, boys and girls, answer these before I do. The first question is, was this text about sound or light? This text is about light. It talked about how day is light, night is dark, except if you live in the North Pole, then there are some things that happen that are different from where we live. Why do you think the title is Day or Night? I think the title is Day or Night with a question mark because, again, in the North Pole, sometimes the day it seems to not end, and at night sometimes it seems like the night does not end. That's why it has that question mark on the title. What kind of light is this text about? The kind of light this text about is the sunlight. And lastly, where do events described in this text take place? We've talked about it, and it is the North Pole. So I know it's the last week, but I finally decided that it would be such a great idea to actually have your shared reading here so you guys can follow along. So sorry for the past weeks that I didn't do this, but you are always improving. Okay, so the question I want you to answer is, why is the North Pole different than where we live? And you can use the frame here that I used, which is where we live. You tell me, draw a picture, and don't forget to highlight the vocabulary words. Sometimes they're here, sometimes they're not. So you can also, answer those questions there below the picture. All right, boys and girls, I'll see you later. Bye.